How's my boy doing today? You doing okay? I can't see you hardly in the shadows. You doing fine? It looks like you still got some food and some water. We'll fix you up a little bit later. Where's old Fluffy Muffin at? Oh, well, hello, Fluffy. How you doing today? You doing okay? You're looking mighty fine. Yeah, I know. It's been another hot day, hasn't it? Whew. What are you whining about, Spooky? You just want love, don't you? Yeah, that's what they both want. And I'm sure Cleo will be coming around pretty soon. But I thought, since this day was winding down, it has been such a beautiful day here in my neighborhood. Partly cloudy, mostly sunny. Oh, I think it got up to 91. That's hard to believe for end of September. Yeah, we didn't stay out much. Whew, because it was just a little too warm. But I wanted to talk to all of you. If you want to stop by and spend a minute or two. You got my back, don't you, Fluffy? Yeah. You my baby. You my big boy. You are. Oh, you're so handsome. And that's my other big boy, Spooky, right back there. Well, I'm glad to see y'all getting along a little better. Okay? Yeah, you gotta love each other, don't you? Okay. Well, maybe our friends and family will stop by and we'll chat a while. Ooh, it's still a little warm, 88, right? And as that sun goes down, the temperatures will fall. It's gonna get a little nippy at night. Oh, well, hello there, friends and family. So good to see you again, and as always, we're glad to have you here in Mr. Tom's neighborhood in the deep south of Alabama. So if you got a moment or a minute or two, pull up a chair, grab a cold drink and a snack, and let's talk a bit here on the front porch, if you want to. So today being Sunday, and of course nearing the end of the month, being the 28th of September, I sat down after doing a little inventory of my Furry Friends chow and saw what they had left, so I could go ahead and put in an order for them, which I do that about twice a month. And as I was looking over the prices of, pet food, both dry and wet, the prices are incredible anymore, as they are with all things. It's not only our fast food, our groceries, electric bills, insurance. Yeah, I could talk about that. But I really didn't realize, I guess it snuck up on me, just how much pet food has gone up. Well, I knew it had. But since, it takes a while, and the way they've done it is they've sort of creeped it up over the last 4 years. Where now, percentage-wise, it's rather incredible and absurd. So I went back in time to look at what I was paying for the foods they prefer back in 2020, 2021, and 2022. And what I saw was, all these price increases have been blamed on many things. If y'all remember, the first blame was, of course, the supply chain disruptions back in 2020. We all know what that was about. But looking back in my records, I didn't see much of any change as far as pet food. Or during 2021, when I saw the jumps, which I saw in all prices, actually came in the third quarter, started, that is, of 2022. If you'll remember, 2022 was the year they said we had the highest inflation since back in the 70s. Yeah, it was just like flipping on a switch. And we're all old enough to remember that happened again back in the 70s and 80s too. We were living life, everything was good, and then boom-o. Prices went sky high. and they never returned. And that's exactly what I saw when looking back at the facts and figures, charts and graphs of what has happened here in this second go around. But yeah, the kitty crew, they do enjoy a few different foods. They're picky. And yes, I spoil them because I'm their papa, and that's what we do. You see, other than our children, probably, and maybe sometimes more, depending on your relationships, our furry friends are just like our children. Like I say, sometimes even more, especially as we age, the kids grow up, they move on, and if you're, living all alone, just like me, it may be all you got. So I treat them the best I can with what I got. So I was looking over the prices I used to pay and what I went to pay today, and I wrote them down. Now, one of the kitty crew's favorite foods, for whatever reason, maybe it's not the best, but they prefer it, and that's the Purina Kit and Caboodle dry cat food. And back in 2021, well, actually 2020, 2021, and into 2022, I could pick up a bag of Purina Kit and Caboodle for $9.98. Yeah. Today, when I was ordering, it was $18.68. Think about that. So I got out my phone, my calculator, like we engineers do, and I went ahead and calculated up what that percentage increase was between 21-22 at $9.98, and now today's price when I ordered it was $18.68, and that's an 87.2% increase. That's insane. Now, granted, that's 3 years. Do the math, divide by 3. Oh, that's way over the inflation rate. But then the other one I used to buy all the time for them too was the Purina Essentials cat food. So I went ahead, and that was $8.88 a bag, and these are either 16 or 20 pound bags. It was $8.88. Now it's $18.96. $18.96 for 113% increase in a little over 3 years. Oh man, unbelievable. But then they also like the Purina Friskies. In the can, they prefer pate. Yeah, especially Spooky and Cleo. Now Fluffy Muffin, he'll pretty much eat whatever you give him. But back in the day, I paid $10.39 for 24 cans. Today, cheapest I could find it, and I go to Walmart and look. I go to Amazon, I go to Chewy, I go to Target. Yeah. And the cheapest I could find it today for 24 cans of pate was $18.99 when it used to be $10.39. So that's went up 82.8%. I mean, I guess I've seen it, but you got to buy it because we got to love our pets. But then the other one I buy, when it's cheaper than the 24, sometimes they switch up and they'll fool you, where the by ounce cost is cheaper on the 24 than it is on the 32 or the 40 now. So 32 cans of Purina Friskies pate used to be $16.19. Today, the cheapest I could find it in America was $23.99. Now that one, for whatever reason, only went up half as much, 48.2%. Yeah. Oh. And don't get me started about the treats. I didn't even go there. I just went ahead and got them two of those, I think they're 20-ounce containers of the Friskies party treats. You know, they love them because they're my kids. But with everything else going up, and they're hitting us on our food, our utilities, insurances, oh, and hitting us that hard on the pet food, of course, they've had all kinds of reasons. Initially, it was the pandemic. But like I said, I was looking back at my receipts and I didn't see a great increase from 2020 until third quarter 2022. So that excuse don't jive. But then the new excuse for all things, including pet food, if you look at it, is the Ukraine war, which broke out in earnest again in 2022. So I looked up before, and I looked up again, just how much we imported from Ukraine. Because that seems to be, every time you talk about prices, up until this next excuse that they've come up with, that was always the excuse used. You know, grain costs are up, all the inputs are up, fertilizer costs, because they made it out like we bought all that from Ukraine. So when I looked at what we actually imported dollar-wise from Ukraine, it was around 300 million bucks. No, we weren't importing a lot from Ukraine. No, I mean, it's hardly a drop in a bucket compared to other countries we import stuff from. AKA China, per se. Yeah. So that excuse don't jive. And of course now, we all know the new excuse. The tariffs are driving everything up. Which sadly, and truthfully, they are having an impact on several things near and dear our hearts. Like coffee, like chocolate. And of course there's environmental factors too that they claim, droughts, and what have you. But there seems to always be an excuse, and there's always a shortage now. That's what gets me. They use the word shortage on everything now. Shortage of grain, shortage of feeds, shortage of beef. You know, because the cattle herds, the smallest it's been since 1951. You know, when they were telling us all about that, you would have thought by now you couldn't buy a hamburger. There wouldn't be none left. My whole point here, when looking over all these price increases, and the corporations claim there's shortages and high demand, wouldn't a shortage mean, you would think, at some time we would run out? But it never seems to happen. Remember the potato shortage 2 years ago? Yeah, never ran out of potatoes. Though I must say, I went to Superfoods, and potatoes were a little slim there for about 2 weeks. And then boom, they were back. The shelves were full. And we haven't seen that again. In fact, something I might clue y'all in, they're sitting here listening to old man ramble on, is potato harvest here in the U.S. has started up in earnest just this last 2 weeks. So you would think, and by the people I watch here on YouTube, like Rocky Mountain Farmer, they're having a bumper crop. So you would think potato prices would come on down. We'll wait and see. What do? And that's something else in the comments a couple of people bring up because they think they're superior intelligence. They all say, you know, people like me, we're sitting here whining and complaining. I'm not whining and complaining. I'm just stating fact and my reality. It is what it is. We do the best we can with what we got. I would like to know the true reasons. And then I go read the annual reports and see these companies, they're still paying out dividends on stocks. They're buying down their debt. They're buying back their stock. They're doing those things, which they can all put down as costs, so they can claim they're making less than what they actually are. Yeah, in fact, what I've seen since 2022, overall with most public companies, some of which are not public anymore, because they bought all their stock back. Something I've never seen in my entire lifetime. And I keep up with all that. So yeah, pet food has got simply insane out there. And it's not rolling back. And I know some will say, well, I cook for my pets. Yeah, well, with grocery prices where they are, and I do treat the kitty crew to some gourmet food from time to time. They get some chicken, tuna, sometimes steak, as you saw, burger, and what have you. I do share when I can, and I do. Maybe y'all do all that. Kitties are rather strange when it comes to human food. My bunch, they're fans of poultry and not much else. They'll eat beef, but they'd rather have that chicken and turkey before anything else. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here while I was out here sitting enjoying my afternoon with the kitty crew and talk to you about what you're seeing in the cost of pet food to feed your furry friends. And I do hope you're enjoying your Sunday, relaxing like I have. Because Sunday, if you can, and I hope you can, should be a day of rest. And I'm going to show you two right now that are taking full advantage of Sunday and a day of rest. Well, he's cleaning up now. Guess, he decided to clean up. Spooky. Since he's going to be on camera in a video. But he was stretched way out. And his compadre now. Look out there. Fluffy Muffin is stretched out on a nice cool rock in the shade. Getting him some Z's. Fluffy, y'all zonked out? Been a hard day? It looks like it is. And somewhere, Cleo, she's bouncing around, mooching off her other families. Now, if you stayed to the end, I would also like to take a moment to thank many of you, because you do help out this little old man in Mr. Tom's neighborhood with the kitty crew. At times, you have sent them treats and food and things to play with. And every once in a while, you'll donate to their care and feeding too, either with a little green in an envelope or through the super things. And y'all know who you are. And then we've got the members of the channel that through their monthly membership make sure the kitty crew is not only well fed but taken the best care of too. And I want to say thank you. It means a lot to me, and I can't thank you enough for being so kind. But know this, you don't have to. But we appreciate it a lot. And we love you for doing it. But as that old sun sets and this day grows long, yeah, I wish I could take a nap. But I got to go in and still prepare a meal. And the kitty crew, since they don't eat when it's hot, I've got to prepare their Sunday special meal too. And you might ask what that is. They know on Sundays. It's tuna fish. Yep, tuna fish. And some kit and caboodle thrown in too. So hey y'all, let me know your thoughts and what you do to feed your furry friends and pets, where you're finding the bargains, if you want to share, or what your thoughts are in general about the high cost of feeding our pets. So hey, until I Gracie, little princess of the house. Fluffy Muffin, Spooky, Cleo, and we got another one coming in at night. Don't know what his or her name is. I'll see you on that next video. Y'all take care. Stay safe out there. May God bless you all. Would you bless those in your lives? Goodbye for now. Yep. Not to mention, feeding our feathered friends. Yeah. That's went up too. Well, we can all dream that one day it may come back down. I've never seen it in my lifetime. Oh, later all. Cleo, you didn't even come in time for the video. Friends and family have all gone. Yeah. It's always good to see you, sweetie. I was just talking about you. Yep. I surely was. You're late to the party. Oh, I'm so glad and happy to see you. Have you been visiting all your other families, you little moocher? Yep, I think you was. Okay. Well, I got to get in and get your food made up, okay? You want some tuna? I bet you do. You know Papa loves you. Oh, she's going to get in my lap. Well, maybe I got to sit here a little while and share some love with my queen of the yard, my Cleo.